Prince Kassad versus General Fai, but I can't build offensive units. So for this one, we can build workers, but I still can't build anything from the barracks or arms dealer. Rocket troops from tunnel networks are allowed, and rebel ambushes are allowed too. So for this one, we're going to build a bunch of workers because I need to establish a very quick defense here. So I'm not going to focus on the supply stash just yet because Fai attacks very hard and very fast. So I want to go for 2 tunnel networks, and I also want to go for 2 stinger sites at this bridge here to set up my defense. So setting up a defense here is good because I can also set up my supply stash. So I really do need to defend the supply area because Fai's got the minigunners. The minigunners can target the workers. So I really do need to have that supply stash well defended, so then I can actually build up the resources to go through the tech tree, get to arms dealer, palace, scud storms, etc. So right now we've pretty much got our defense online now, and then I can just send those workers to start gathering the resources. We will build a few more workers from the supply stash itself. That way I can increase the amount of money we get. Now the 4 rocket troops, they're also going to be my backup in case my stinger sites go and I need to rely on the rocket troops to destroy the assault troop crawler, to then utilize the tunnel networks to take out the infantry that was inside the troop crawler. So we did get hit by a minigunner paradrop, and it was only like 5 minigunners to begin with. The next minigunner paradrop, there's going to be more minigunners that will come into my base to attack me, so I got to be wary of that. Now when it comes to the minigunner paradrop, there is an audio cue that goes with it. So with General Fai, if he says like a swarm of locusts, they descend from the sky, then that's a audio cue that will tell you that he's about to do the minigunner paradrop. Now the minigunner paradrop is something that will go off cash value, so just like with super weapons in the General's challenges. So you got to make sure that you've got your most expensive area well defended. Now for me, my most expensive area would probably be this section with the base defenses, the supply stash, and the workers. So that's kind of a good thing because the base defenses itself can take out the minigunners that fly in. So that's going to be my goal, is to just make sure the most valuable area is a spot where I've got defense that can pick off the minigunners for me, and then it's not that big of a deal. So we've just set up the arms dealer and a tunnel network on the left side of our base. So the tunnel network is going to be mainly for Black Lotus, so she can cross that bridge and then sneak into my base and capture my stuff, but just having 1 tunnel network can be enough to stop her from capturing my stuff. I don't want to build the tunnel network too close to the bridge as well, because that could trigger the assault troop crawlers and other infantry into attacking me from that left side where my defense is weak. So I wanted to have it a bit further back, so then the attacks only happen on where my defense is strongest. So I'm going for palace next, as well as another tunnel network. So when it comes to the cash value side of things, I already mentioned the minigunner paradrop goes on cash value. The nuclear missile that General Fai has also goes off cash value. So he does have a nuclear missile, you just can't see the timer in the top right corner like you normally would. Same goes for my super weapons too. Now when it comes to minigunner paradrops and nuclear missiles, now I want them to basically go for more buildings rather than base defenses. So that's why I've built the palace in a way where it's not directly near the base defenses. I want that nuclear missile to basically take out maybe the palace and then maybe 1 or 2 base defenses, and then I've still got something to defend myself from those minigunners and assault troop crawlers too. So when it comes to General Fai, sometimes he'll hit you very lightly, other times he'll hit you like an absolute truck here. So this is one of those cases where he does give me a bit of a break. So here's where we get into something that was questionable. I ended up selling off my arms dealer so then I could go for a quick scud storm. So I think I probably should have not sold off the arms dealer. I think I might have been able to keep that intact, because the risk is if I lose my palace, then it means I have to build up an arms dealer to then build up a palace. So it's kind of a risky play in a way. But I do have the Scud Storm going at the very least. With the Scud Storm, I want to be able to use it to either destroy the nuclear missile or to at least delay it. Now here comes the minigunner paradrop here, so going for mainly base defenses, and because it's like a swarm of infantry all around, it's kind of hard for my defense to keep up here, so it does mean that I have to utilize the rocket troops inside the palace as well, so that's why I did that, because I thought, okay, yeah, maybe just in case the minigun or paradrop comes, I've got something to defend the palace as well, or defend the base defenses nearby. So I ended up getting my workers to collect the resources again as well. Now, the minigunners can be a little bit broken. Sometimes they'll fire, sometimes they'll just stand in one place, and after a while they might shoot and then run off somewhere else to fire on a different building or a different unit. So the general battle against General Fai, it's still a little bit broken, but it's mostly, mostly working. So we were able to hold off that attack pretty well. We did lose a few base defenses, so the nuclear missile is going to be coming soon. Now, this is a case where I wasn't really paying too much attention to the time. So the nuclear missile, the first nuclear missile would happen around the 7 minutes 30 to 8 minute mark. And what I'm doing is I'm rebuilding my base defenses so then I can withstand the next attack. But because I wasn't paying attention to the nuke, it does mean that I'm setting up my base defenses for destruction by increasing the value of that particular spot. Now, with that, it also means that I'm not paying attention to the workers, because I've got workers also gathering resources, and the workers are $200 a piece, so even those workers are increasing the value of that spot. And here comes the nuke, and just like that, we've lost a lot of defense. But I was actually very fortunate here because I got 2 tunnel networks that are still somewhat intact. And I've still got some workers remaining, but yeah, that was a big hit, and I should have, I should have been looking at the timer a lot more carefully. That way I could have prevented those workers from being destroyed. I might have been able to bait out the nuclear missile even. So after getting hit by that nuclear missile, I went into go mode with my workers. See, I need to be able to get that defense back up as quickly as I can, because the radiation took out the workers that were rebuilding my other defenses from the GLA holes. So I'm going to get my workers to build up another sting site, another tunnel network. I've got another one that's going to repair the tunnel networks that were still intact, because there could still be attacks coming from the northern side as well. Now, I did get a couple of minigunners on my left side, so that doesn't normally happen. It's usually just Black Lotus. Now, my tunnel network is being detected, so it does mean that Black Lotus is nearby, and I ended up getting my rocket troops to chip in and help out, because it's like, I don't want to risk losing my Scud Storm, and the only way to recapture it is to get to rank 3, where I get the Rebel Ambush, and I still got to get the capture upgrade too, so I don't have the cash for that. So I was like, I really can't afford to lose the Scud Storm at this particular moment. Now, I did get that rank 3, so I went for double bounty, and I went for level 1 Rebel Ambush as well. I don't need to go too hard on the Rebel Ambush. I really only need it for capturing the oil derricks, so then I can get the cash up. Now, these rebels are going to be stealthy as well, so I can also use them as spies to help me know when attacks are coming from this left side too. So we were able to recover from the nuclear missile and the following attacks from General Fai pretty well. The main issue now is just money. Money is super tight right now. I don't have enough cash to bait out another nuclear missile. I'm really just spending the cash on getting the defenses up. But here is where disaster struck. We got a minigun, a paradrop, and the minigunners are all around the palace. So I'm going to lose this palace, and because I sold off my arms dealer right at the beginning, it means I have to rebuild the arms dealer to get to the palace, to then get to Scudstorm, or to get to Black Markets. So I have shot myself in the foot there, and what I was hoping for with the minigunner paradrops was that the minigunners would fly in and land in between the base defenses and the palace. That way I could pick off those minigunners more easily with the base defenses and the rocket troops inside the palace. So losing the palace here was an outcome I was not hoping for. On the bright side though, I do have the oil derricks, and I've also got the double bounty, so I should be able to build up my cash quicker and then get the buildings back up quicker compared to what I did the first time round. Now, we got another attempt from Black Lotus at getting my Scudstorm. Still failed, but I thought, you know what, this is getting a little annoying here, so just in case I lose my rocket troops at some point and my tunnel network isn't enough, I'm going to build some extra defense. That way we can pick off Black Lotus more easily. So I got a bit of bad news here. I ended up losing one of my oil derricks. So I thought, okay, well, let's get all of our remaining rebels and get them in garrison buildings. That way we can get as much as we can out of the oil derricks before they get destroyed. So that way I can build up my cash faster to get my tech tree back up. Now, I did get hit by the artillery barrage. Thankfully, it's only a weak barrage, so I'm going to be able to rebuild those base defenses from GLA holes. Now, I've got more defenses coming on that left side. I think I went a little bit overkill on the left side, but I thought, well, just in case I do get attacked by assault troop crawlers as well on the left side along with Black Lotus, we've got something to defend on that side. Now, here comes minigunner and a tank hunter attacking my garrison. So I took out the minigunner, and all of a sudden the tank hunter and the assault troop crawler decided to retreat. So I was able to keep those two oil derricks intact, and then that way I can build up my cash faster. So when the tank hunter and the troop crawler retreated, it was actually because I evac my building and the camouflage on the rebels activated. Now, I didn't actually realize that. I was like, oh great, they're retreating. I can keep my oil derricks for a little bit longer, fantastic. And I really do need those oil derricks because I have no more resources to collect. So we're just relying on double bounty and the 2 oil derricks remaining to gather the resources. Now, I did get a rank up here, and I thought, well, we could go triple bounty, but I ended up going for double rebel ambush because I thought, well, we could use the double rebel ambush after we use the Scud Storm. I was thinking maybe we could use the Scud Storm and then use the rebel ambush to capture or even destroy the building. So I was going more for capture though. That's where I was, that was where my thought process was at, was we could capture a command center, we could even capture the nuclear missile potentially. We wouldn't have the power to actually use it, but we could sell it off. Now, we did lose 1 oil derrick to Black Lotus, but we do have the rebels right next to it, so I can recapture it, so no harm done really. So it was at this moment that I thought, okay, let's use our Scud Storm. Our rebel ambush is almost ready to go anyway, so we can use that right after. Now, with the Scud Storm, I was thinking, well, let's go for the power plants, actually, because the power plants, even if you take out 1 power plant, you will take him offline. That's General Fai's Achilles heel here, is if you take out a bunch of his power plants, then that's really going to delay the nuclear missile, and the missile itself is standing up right now, so it is actually ready to fire. So it's good that I actually did use the Scud Storm when I did. So I used my rebel ambush. Now, there's no toxins in this area, but I did lose a few rebels to the mines that are surrounding the building. So that's the thing that I didn't really think about, was those mines. So we're losing rebels one by one, and what I really should have done in this particular moment was just shoot. I could have, I could have done a lot more damage from just shooting the nuclear missile or whatever other building that I wanted to target. There's also the sneak attack. I could have also used the sneak attack. I would have had the rocket troops, and then I could have destroyed the nuclear missile that way. Could have potentially destroyed the command center as well, but because I was delaying it, I was thinking, okay, let's build another Scud Storm because this attack is basically a fail. That was my thought process. But yeah, I could have done a lot more with this attack, but I just squandered it. So during my attack, I was able to capture one of his reactors, so that's good news because when he destroyed it, the radiation will take out more of his minigunners and tank hunters. Now, because I captured that reactor, that also means it's going to take longer for General Fai to go back online to fire off his nuclear missile. Now, I finally chose to use my general points, which I should have used sooner. I ended up getting the anthrax bomb, the sneak attack, and I went for triple bounty. I went triple bounty because I thought, okay, well, I need to build up the cash faster so then I can get to black markets, so then I can also get more Scud Storms and other things of that nature, so then we can basically wipe out General Fai and pretty much hold on with our defense. Now, I was also thinking about using my anthrax bomb right away here. So I was thinking about positioning, and I thought, well, let's use it in the top left corner. The plane is not going to make it, but it is going to be a map revealer for us to use our sneak attack. And with our sneak attack, we've got rocket troops inside, so we could use the rocket troops to do some damage to General Fai's nuclear missile. So luckily for me, the rocket troops were just out of range of the mines surrounding the command center, so I'm able to fire on those without any risk. What was unintentional was the worker being inside the tunnel. So I decided, okay, well, let's use the worker to get rid of the mines surrounding the buildings, and the power came back online. I was like, oh no, okay, I'm just going to go for it. He fired off the nuclear missile just in time, so I was just a hair off. I should have been a little bit faster, and we would have had it. I could have done rocket troops inside the tunnel networks, and I could have done more rocket troops to fire on the nuke. So I was like, oh, damn. But luckily for me, it wasn't too bad. I mean, Fai had already taken a hit by my Scud Storm, so he's still recovering as well to build up his forces. So I was like, okay, it could be a lot worse. So we're just going to basically rebuild and hope that the attacks are on the light side. So during the chaos, I was able to get my second Scud Storm. So with the second Scud Storm, I thought, well, if we wait on the second Scud Storm to be ready, we could do a double Scud Storm on General Fai's base. We could do double Scud on the command center, take out the command center. We could go Scud Storm on the left side and Scud Storm on the right side, basically taking out all of General Fai's defending units, and then we could do like a sneak attack or a rebel ambush inside General Fai's base to finish him off. So there's a few options you could do when it comes to using double Scuds against General Fai. Normally, I would probably go with the double Scud on command center and nuclear missile if it's still there, and then that way you can basically do two birds, one stone, because the command center is going to be responsible for the minigun and paradrop. It's also responsible for the EMP pulses and artillery barrages too. So yeah, a lot of good things can happen from a double Scud on a command center and nuke. So after getting hit by his nuclear missile, Fai decided it was a good idea to actually attack me in pretty much full force. He had a lot of units coming this time, and he also did have a minigunner paradrop coming my way too. So the minigunner paradrop decided to fly in where my arms dealer and palace are. Now I do have tunnel networks nearby that can deal with them. They're kind of firing on the command center too, so I was like, okay, well, this is kind of a problem. I don't want to lose it, so I ended up using my rebel ambush to pick off the remaining minigunners. I don't know if this was a good play or not. I think I might have been able to deal with the threat without the rebel ambush. I could have probably kept the rebel ambush and then comboed it off with the Scud Storms later on if I wanted to just use a single Scud Storm instead of a double Scud Storm. Now, we do have one ECM tank right in front of my tunnel networks as well. Now, if you're playing as USA or China and you're doing a can't build any units challenge, then the ECM would go straight for that dozer. But because I have no vehicles, the ECM doesn't know what to do with itself. So it was at this moment that I finally decided, let's get the upgrades from the black market. I should have done that way sooner. So getting the rocket upgrade and the bullet upgrade first, and then worker shoes last. Normally I'd go worker shoes, but in this case I've already gathered all the resources at our base. And the worker shoes, well, we can just put the workers inside the tunnel networks, and then we can just pop out of whatever tunnel nearby if we want to build something new. So I figured the worker shoes is going to be the least important thing out of the 3 upgrades. Now the other 3 upgrades, because we're not building any units from the barracks or the arms dealer, those upgrades aren't necessary and I don't need to buy those. So all we're doing right now is we're just keeping our base nice and repaired for the next attack from General Fai. So I went for a 3rd Scud Storm, which was unnecessary, along with a couple more tunnel networks to keep the area well defended. So here I use my Scud Storm. So with the Scud Storm, I honestly think I should have waited. If I waited, I would have been able to use the 2nd Scud Storm on the other side of Fai's base, and then I could have destroyed all of Fai's defending units. But using the Scud Storm now, it means like we will destroy some of his units for sure, and the cash bounty will do its thing for me, which is great. Not that we really need the cash by this point, but the toxins are going to destroy some of those defending units, but not all of them. So I ended up doing a test pop with my rocket troop, and he was able to get out just fine. So I decided to pop out with everybody else to attack the command center. But because Fai has defending units still, it means they're coming for me. So luckily, some of those defending units are going to where the toxins are, so the toxins will help me out and destroy those units for me. But there are other units that are just out of range from those toxins, so they're going to be able to do damage to my sneak attack as well as my rocket troops. So I decided to retreat back inside the tunnel, and then I thought, you know what, let's just go for it. We'll build more tunnels later on. We got the cash. And I went for one of his reactors. I was like, okay, let's at least do something. So the dozer decided to stop repairs on the command center, and I ended up going for the command center once again, but then he went back to repair it. So I decided to use my Scud Storm on the command center, the prop center, the barracks, and the war factory. So I knew that my Scud Storm wasn't going to be enough to destroy the command center, but I did know that the toxins would buy me some time, and also the Scud Storm was able to take out the war factory because it was just within range of one of those missiles too, and the war factory didn't have a lot of health left. So in terms of attacking units, he doesn't have a lot. I'm going to use my Anthrax Bomb to deal with any remaining defending units, and he can't, you know, build any attacking units from the barracks or any war factory because they've been destroyed. So even though my initial attack with the first Scud Storm was an absolute fail, we did pull it back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait on the toxins from the command center to go away, and then I can use my Rebel Ambush. And with the Rebel Ambush, I could destroy the command center and the reactors freely because there's no more defending units left, at least not that I know of. So with the Rebel Ambush, I'm just really deciding on the right moment, because it's like I only get one shot at this, and it's like if I spawn in with the rebels and there's still toxins there, then I've just wasted that Rebel Ambush, and then I gotta wait on a sneak attack or another Scud Storm to potentially finish the job. So we use our Rebel Ambush and no toxins, so that's great news. So I could stop the dozer from repairing, but instead I ended up going for capture. So I thought, okay, well, there's no defending unit, so we might as well capture these 2 reactors along with the command center, and we'll also stop the dozer from building anything too, because like if he builds a barracks and then builds up minigunners or tank hunters, then I'm kind of screwed there if he builds up enough minigunners. And I ended up using my sneak attack near the other reactor, so then I could use my 2 remaining rocket troops to destroy that. I probably could have gotten more rocket troops from my base, but just 2's fine. We'll eventually get there. So the dozer is building up a barracks, so when the reactor goes, we got to take out the dozer plus the barracks scaffold, and then that is going to be game. And that is how I did Prince Kassad versus General Fai without building any offensive units. So if you enjoyed this one, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do have a playlist if you want to check out any of my other content. I'm Cracklo, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Coming for you, General.
You win.